Welcome, listeners, to the Bleep Midlife Bulimia with host Lorianne. Hi, everyone out there. This is Lorianne. I am the host of Bleep Midlife Bulimia, and I thought I would do a session on anger and bulimia, and I guess also what happens after you recovered from bulimia. So one thing that I do know is when I was bulimic, I tended to have those moods where I did get angry more often. My patience was a lot lower. And again, I would say that it comes back to, the nutritional aspects of what I was eating. And my temperament really did subside. It was a lot better once I recovered. However, I still have my moments. And I felt today was one of those moments, so I just thought I would share. Just strange. I think perhaps that my biggest reason for being impatient today is the fact that I am super tired. Yes, that is a trigger. The other thing about being bulimic is you're quite often tired because the binging and purging exhausts you, and particularly depending on how many times a day you do it. And in the evening, which was when I was it was most common for me to have my episodes, that would make me tired as well. So I was less patient about certain things. And how do I deal with it? Well, I can be a little snappy. So today, where I was finding the most silly little things, like, if I have animals. So I have my kitty cat and she always wants to eat, always wants to eat. And usually I'm very patient about it. Go, oh, no, baby. Today it annoyed me that she kept meowing at me for more and more treats. And I had to walk away. It's so strange. And I was a little bit upset by the fact that I was feeling this impatience because I've been so good. And then I realized, what's happened is that I have my dog and she hasn't been very well these days. And so I've been pretty well up till 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm up early in the morning between 6:30 and 7:30. This morning, I actually slept in until 8. But over time, those late nights will catch up to you. So how did I deal with it? Well, when I was bulimic, it was awful because the bulimia was probably the cause of my impatience and my moods and my mood swings. They definitely, were part of the reason for it. And then, of course, I would have more episodes to eat up my anger and then purge it like we do as a ritual. In the case of when I recovered, it was at the beginning really difficult to deal with it. I basically would have to isolate myself because I felt that I didn't want to be around anybody because I didn't want to subject them to Lorianne, the one that was still trying to find ways to deal with it. So what did I do today? This is what I do today. I take deep breaths. And then another big thing that helps me is I write things down. So there were a few other things that were upsetting me today. Somebody who said that they were going to be here at a certain time, an hour and a half later comes, and that's when they called. By this time, it wasn't so much I was angry, but I was frustrated and being tired. I guess there was a little bit of the anger that comes with the frustration. And when she called back, I did not answer the phone. And the reason I didn't answer the phone was not that I was avoiding her because I was frustrated, it was because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to say something that I might regret later. Then what did I do? I had a nap. Now there's another thing though about me is when I wake up from a nap, I also have a little bit of a impatient kind of mode that I have to get through, and I need about a half hour to myself. I've always been like that, but at least that's something that I am aware of. So I need to just relax and just take time and be away from things that might cause me any sort of distress during that period. I am looking forward to having a speaker. We will be talking during my series, and they have been invited. I don't have a specific date. We will be talking about how to deal with anger management. That is something that I have struggled with since what I can remember back in grade 1. I probably struggled with it earlier than that, but my first real memory of it, yes, memory, but I like the word remembering, was when I was, in grade 1, and I was trying to do math. And I could not get the answer, and it frustrated me so bad that I took my pencil and I just scribbled across my whatever it was that I was doing. I think it was additions. And then I was really nervous because I knew the teacher would get mad at me. So I pulled the paper out as best I could, not to show it. But of course, what happens is when you press really hard on one paper, it kind of embosses on the next. So she did see that. And then she told my mother. My mother got upset with me. Of course, at that time, we didn't really try. And I think maybe me as a mother too, I knew that, my oldest son had a bit of that, and I could see it in myself in him. And I really didn't know how to handle it because at the time too, I was bulimic. I didn't even know how to handle myself. So anyway, I would try to understand what he was trying to go through. I would ask him why he was angry, what was frustrating him, and not always get the proper answer. But I knew that getting angry at him for being in a angry mode was not going to be of any help. So we're going to be dealing with that. I think it's really important because it can be a trigger. And the crazy thing is our bulimia can trigger that trigger. When you are not bulimic anymore, those are easier to handle. You can find the ways to get through it. But what I'm thinking is that if we can help someone who's bulimic to deal with it while they're in the recovery stage, it would be so much better. I didn't have that opportunity to do that. I started to have to deal with it after I recovered. I think it's very important to do it even in the stages of recovery. So I'm looking forward to that. We have a couple of extra guests too that are coming on board. I'm super excited about. One lady who's going to be on this week, Jetty, she did struggle with bulimia as well. So she's going to be sharing her story. So I hope you guys stay tuned. And if you do, comment, or send me an email. And if you're watching this on YouTube, put it in the comments. And if you're listening to it on podcast, please email me. Pretty simple. It's bleepbulimia@gmail.com. And as I said, if there's anything else that you'd like to speak to in regards to this, any triggers that you have that you want specialists to come on, just let me know. So excited about the anger management one. I will let you know if if I have the exact date and I'm doing one of these podcasts again, I will let you know the date. But otherwise, just keep track of what's going on. Just follow subscribe to my podcast. And I also have a blog that I will be starting to post the podcast to. Right now, I'm just putting some blogs here and there. And as I said before, there's a lot of them that are saying coming soon because I just wanted to make sure the topics I wanted to speak about were listed there. I'm also offering, if any of you out there love to blog and you want to submit, unfortunately, there's no payment for this, but if you wanted to submit a blog and have it up on my site, please do. I'd love to share your story on there as well. For that, again, bleepbulimia@gmail.com. I am Lorianne, and I am the host of Bleep Bulimia. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to this episode. Be sure to visit me at bleepbulimia.com.